Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to share and discuss about 7 tools that help me stay on track during my day job and deliver absolutely superhuman performance in all areas, even though we tend to miss some deadlines here and there because that's sort of a trend in tech. Lol. Anyways, if you are new here, you are very welcome. My name is Anudeep Sharma, and on this channel, we discuss about tech, productivity, and how to be the best version of ourselves to live the best life, all while documenting this wonderful journey. Please subscribe to follow along if you are interested in these sort of things. Enough of the plug, let's get started. So, Todoist is the first app that I open when I'm starting my day, when I'm starting my work session, or virtually anything. This is the point of entry to anything that I need to get done, any task that is lingering on my mind, or any project that I intend to work on. In the latter case, that particular project can be broken down into different subtasks that I can perform at different days while setting deadlines and priorities and due dates, from a little feature that I need to push to doing my laundry. Everything is in my Todoist. On top of that, what is amazing is that we can set filters and labels to categorize different tasks that have the same context that are present in different projects. For example, recently I had to apply for STEM OPT, which all international students have to apply to in the US. While doing that tasks, some of the tasks in that project were in the day job project and some of the tasks were in the professional project. And I needed to categorize those tasks that I could do at one particular point of time from different projects. So I gave them a label, I put that particular label on the tasks which I want to appear in that particular way. I put that particular label on the tasks that I need, and all of them now appear under the same label on the same screen. How wonderful is that? This is the power of Todoist. Simple yet powerful. Trust me, I have been a productivity nerd since so long now. I have tried virtually all apps like Notion and Roam and Evernote and TickTick and Things and whatnot. But at the end of the day, what has helped me get my life together is a simple to-do list and a calendar, which brings us to tool number 2. So, I live my life based on a calendar. I've mentioned it in my previous videos as well, that if something is not on my calendar, then that particular thing is not happening. Because time is the only finite and valuable resource that we have, and we really cannot afford to waste it. Sure, if you want to watch Naruto for 3 hours or sit by the river idling for the entire day, you have full Monty to do that. My only condition is it has to be intentional. Meaning, you either have to plan for it or you really want to do it if you're going against your calendar. It shouldn't be such that your goal is to get a good job and you have planned to do some lead code questions, but just because of some random friend call or a mood swing, you are not following your calendar. You are not going towards your goals, that you're wasting a lot of time. And a very good way to avoid wasting this time is to use a calendar. And why I swear by this calendar thing is because, sure, a day or two here and there doesn't hurt, but if you are not consistently taking actions to where you want to be, you will never be there. It'll be just like playing into the hands of life, which is good sometimes, don't get me wrong. But when I plan my days, I see what my goals are, where I want to get, and where I am right now. I assess the gap, and then I plan my action items accordingly. And once I know these are the particular steps that I have to take in order to reach where I want to get to, I slot in those action items onto my calendar. And after I've done so much meticulous planning, if I'm not following my calendar when that particular work slot hits, it's sort of me not going towards my goals. As simple as that. Hence, Google Calendar all the way. So Obsidian is my second brain. Yes, this is my note-taking app of choice. As mentioned previously, I've tried all the other note-taking apps like Notion and Roam and Evernote and Craft also I tried for a bit, but I don't know, it was this simplistic markdown nature of Obsidian that got me attracted towards it as a software engineer, and now I write all my documentation in Obsidian and I can push it to GitHub without doing any formatting. Also, being in tech, I really love the local first approach of Obsidian because all your data is yours and then you can back it up using Google Drive or Apple equivalent. But I back it up using, you guessed it right, GitHub. This is the best way to track changes to any documentation that I may have done, and the best part is, it's free. Obsidian hosts all my notes as a reliable second brain, and I will probably make a separate video all about Obsidian, about how awesome this program is. But one of the best things it does is that it helps me think while I write by making connections between topics via a thing called backlink. This then gives a graph view of all the topics that are connected to that particular one, which is so helpful when I'm learning a new technology or virtually anything. Okay, so enough of digital tools. I'm going to go analog here. So this is not a tool per se, maybe it is, but I'm talking about my thinking notepad/journal. And I don't know, there are certain parts of the brain that I think get activated only when we have a pen and paper in hand to perform a brainstorm or to make a logic diagram, to solve mathematics, or to even make architecture diagrams which are used by both civil engineers and software engineers. And this is something that I picked up at my first internship when I was interning at MathWorks. During the time, my mentor always sketched up his solution first and then coded it up. And I believe that some sort of thinking is done best when we have a pen and paper in hand. Maybe because that is how we have evolved, because keyboards and stuff have just come into existence very recently when compared to the human history. We have always written stuff using a pen and paper. And secondly, it is also about the type of education that we have had, because specifically in the eastern side of the world, we are not given calculators until we reach university after passing high school. And so most of our calculations, most of the writing that we have to do is on a paper using a pen or a pencil. Hence, our brain is specifically wired to think when we write, not type. To make use of this thinking power, I use this trusty notebook, and it's also actually cheap. I got it for like $10 from Target. If this is helping me attain a lot of thinking power, it's absolutely worth the investment. So every product that you see from me, this YouTube video, every bug that I have to fix, the feature that I have to push out, everything is born in here. But because you all know that I'm a sucker for digital tools, because it helps in maintaining the longevity of notes and also the ease of sharing and searching, I have come across this tool called Excalidraw, or Excalidraw, however you want to pronounce it. This sort of tool gives the ability to make logic diagrams and stuff on a screen using a keyboard and a mouse, essentially replicating what you would do on a pen and paper on a screen. On top of that, Obsidian also has an Excalidraw plugin that is just cherry on top. So all my notes now, specifically my tech notes, have a diagram that will include the main parts of logic that I want to represent visually, that also aids in understanding and also provides additional context to a particular problem that I'm trying to solve. And yeah, you'll see a bunch of my notes with these types of diagrams. First, they're born in here, but after a lot of thinking, when I'm trying to solidify my knowledge and the notes that I want to make permanent, I will fare them out in Excalidraw and save in Obsidian. So, no developer productivity toolkit is complete without Spotify, is it? And because we work in a hybrid environment, so on some days the crowd in the office is less, and on those days and on days on which I am working from home, I just bash out my lo-fi focus playlist, the link for which is provided in the description below if you guys are interested in checking that out, and just zone into deep work. And to be honest, according to science and research, it is best to not listen to anything and work. Basically, work in silence and not listen to music or talk to anyone. But cutting out on this fraction of productivity to just get in the mood of doing the work and setting the entire vibe is so much worth it, in my opinion. I have observed it makes me stay in the focus zones for much longer than usual. Now, this is not the type of journal that I talked about previously that I used to clarify my thinking, but instead, this is sort of a reflection practice that I do to get better. So basically, the deal with life is, you are here at the bottom, you want to get to here at the top, and the difference between this and this is this gap, and how you overcome this gap is by taking actions in the right direction. So you take some actions and then you fail, which is inevitable and necessary and needed for success. But the difference between someone who gets to where they want to get and someone who does not is that the person who fails, they try again the next time, but with a little more wisdom, a little more learning. And so it is very worthwhile to reflect on what we did when we failed, because we can get learnings that we can apply and be a little bit better the next time and keep on iterating until we get to where we want to get. My main point is, a lot of this happens when we document what we did and learn from those failures. And in order to get better, I keep sort of a dev diary wherein I monitor how I did in that particular session, and if there are any takeaways that I can apply in the next session. Now, you can do this in a traditional notebook, but the way I do it is that I do it in an app called Day One. It's a journaling app, and that is so because I type way faster than I write. But yeah, let me show you some examples. So this is a journal entry that I wrote in the January of 2023. Damn, that was the time when I was searching for my first full-time job. It was the time when I was grinding lead code and stuff. So yeah, it says, the next moment, it is so frustrating. I was not able to solve a vectors problem. I thought I'm comfortable with vectors, but I was not able to solve. This is not done. I was also getting distracted with Twitter in between, and that I should not do. Having said that, I still need practice with vectors. I need to be able to work with them properly. I have made a task in TickTick to fare out notes on them properly and practice some problems on vectors. There is one other example that I would want to show you. So here it is. Being stuck at problems does not frustrate me now. This is one of the things that I've noticed now, that being stuck at problem does not give me troubles now because I know that the solution is there somewhere. I just need to figure it out. I patiently try to solve it, search it, iterate it. I am not irritated, nor is my ego high as to why I am not able to solve this even after being a master's student at Purdue University. Having that belief is very important, as Naman Kapoor mentions in one of his videos. So this is apparently a person I followed at that particular point of time. He's also a software engineer, and he gave tips on how to prepare for interviews and stuff. I do think that there are things that when I see solutions to feel too easy, and I sometimes sort of beat myself up for not being able to do that without looking at the solution. This also means that I am progressing, and with a bit more patience, I will be better. So you see, documenting your journey is not productive in traditional sense, but it has immense value, and I use this and I recommend this to anyone who wants to get better in any area of life. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. Just by liking the video or subscribing to the channel, you can give the algorithm an immense boost. So please do that. It would mean a lot, and I will see you in the next one.